What is up, guys? It's me, Cian again, and some of you know what this is, and some of you may not. I hope most of you do know what this game is, but just stay on the video, even if you don't or do. Just listen to me, and I really hope to change your mind about some things. What you are watching right now is a Gears of War 3 variant scrim. I am playing Execution on the map Checkout. I go 9-1, and we pretty much just rape the other team. We tried to balance the teams as best we could, because Bodhi and Peroxic do not play Gears, but I was coaching Peroxic the entire time, and he did very well for his first competitive Gears of War game, and as you could tell by his level, one of his first Gears of War games that he's ever actually played. Now, I know some of you may be mad at me for posting Gears of War, but the reason why I did post Gears of War is because I saw a lot of comments asking me to play game battles. Now, I am terrible at Modern Warfare 3 on game battles, because really I never played it from the beginning, and I really don't play it a lot now, so my gun skill isn't that great. Now, I had a singles gameplay, but I scrapped it because it was really slow, and it was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of stupid. I found it really boring to watch. I 4-0'd the kid. And it was non-radar search and destroy singles, so you could tell how boring the game must have been, and that's why I'm not posting COD. I also tried to do a couple of World at War singles matches, but I played a hacker. I think I posted about 3 or 4 matches. I think I posted 4 matches, and every single time I played a hacker. So I got 4-0'd every single time, because I was not in the mood to wait for them to dashboard and do all that other stupid shit. I just wanted to play. I just wanted to get a gameplay. And I knew if I didn't play a hacker, I could have gotten a gameplay, but I got frustrated because 4 games in a row, all I did was play a hacker. So I decided, on my own judgment, to get a gameplay or scrim in a game that I could actually get a gameplay in, which is Gears of War. I am obsessed with this game. I love this game so much. It is so fun, and if you guys just keep an open mind and give this a chance, I know for a fact that anybody who is a fan of competitive gaming will enjoy this gameplay. Now, what my commentary is about today is I want to explain to you what is actually involved in Gears of War and what it takes to play this game. Now, Gears of War is very different than pretty much any other game, as you could see, because it is, well, of course, third person. It's also very skillful, though. You need to know many different strategies and movement techniques that you don't need to know in any other game. The wall bounce is probably the most famous movement in Gears of War, and is a very hard technique to master. The same with strafing and various forms of strafing that there are. Those are also very hard to master. In Gears of War, there are only a few starting weapons that you can actually use. Pretty much you have to start off with a Lancer, which is an assault rifle, and a Gnasher, which is a shotgun. And you also get a snub pistol, which is just a normal pistol, and you get a smoke grenade. Now, Gears of War is very famous for having massive, fast-paced shotgun battles, which is what makes this game so appealing to many people. There are also power weapons scattered throughout the map, and most strategies involve splitting up the team to rush the most important power weapons, whether it be the frag grenades, the incendiary grenades, or Digger or Boomshot, which I use a lot in this game, or any other power weapon that's on the map that your team is actually good with. Each team will consist of a Slayer, a support Slayer, a more of an objective Slayer, and a power weapon player. I am more of a support player, but in this game I take on more of a power weapon Slayer, considering I was not playing with my normal team, and was calling out the strategies that my normal team does, but I was not playing with everybody on my team, so everybody didn't know who's going to get the Digger, who's going to get the Sniper, who's going to play the nades, who's going to do all this other stuff that we would usually do. Now, the great thing about Gears of War is that you have to learn so many techniques that you would not normally learn in any other game, such as the movement I spoke of earlier and power weapon play. Now, I know there's power weapon play in Halo, as you can get the grenade launcher, the rocket launcher, the evade, and the invis, or the active camo, and there's a very heavily... but it's more heavily based on DMR gunfighting, which is really enjoyable to watch as well. I think Halo and Gears are actually very comparable games, because it is based pretty much solely on gunfighting, and there is rarely any camping, to be honest with you. Especially because Gears of War is third person, and it's very easy to spot people. There is also a spotting feature that when you aim in on somebody and you press the left stick in, you are able to put a blue or red marker above the person's head, and it will tell you where they are for the next I would say about 5 seconds. So, if somebody's behind the wall, and you see them, and you're trying to call them out, and you can't really explain to your team where they are, just get your sights on them, spot them, boom, there he is for your entire team. There's also two game types that are in, well, I guess, variant. They were in the MLG. Gears 3 was not in MLG because of the rep that Gears 2 had, because Gears 2 was a very insanely host-based game. Gears 3 is a bigger host-based game than any other game, I would say, but it is not as bad as Gears of War 2. The host team on Gears of War 2 always won, without a doubt, even on LAN. That is how bad the host advantage was in Gears of War 2. So, for Gears of War 3, MLG did not pick it up. They may still actually pick it up. I am not sure what they're actually going to be doing with it, but hopefully they do pick it up, and if not Gears of War 3, hopefully they pick up Gears of War Judgment when it comes out sometime next year. But anyway, there are two game types that are invariant on certain maps. Just like in Call of Duty, there's Domination, there's Capture the Flag, there's Search and Destroy on some maps. In Gears of War, it is Execution and King of the Hill. Now what Execution is, which is what you're watching right now, it is sort of Search and Destroy, but there's no bomb objective. It's pretty much team deathmatch, except each person only has one life. Now, a lot of people are like, well, that must be so campy then. The thing is, in Gears of War, like I said, it is very heavily based on the shotgun. And when you'll notice I'm shooting a bunch of people with the Lancer, and they don't die very easily with the Lancer. Most times, when you get kills, especially in Execution, it's going to be a shotgun kill or a power weapon kill, which is why Gears is so heavily also based on power weapons, because the reason why it's not campy is because the team with the most power weapons, if you have skilled players, usually wins the map. Or round, I should say, unless you have very, very skilled players on the other team. But the more skilled the player is, the more their brain realizes that my team needs power weapons, otherwise we will be at a severe disadvantage than the other team if we do not have our power weapons. So pretty much it's just a rush to the power weapons, and then once you get the power weapons, then the game gets a little bit more slow. But your team must make team pushes, you must make flanks, you must corner people in. And there's a bunch of techniques to do this as well. There's also a technique called right-hand advantage, which is a very simple technique when you do play Gears of War, but when you don't, you have no idea what people talk about when you say that. I'm just going to explain it briefly. If you notice that your character is on the left side of the screen, if you hug onto a wall to the left, if you do not take cover behind the wall, if you just look at the wall, you can see on your right, the entire right side of the wall, and your enemy will not see you. That's just one of the small tips that most pro players use to have the advantage on their opponent, because all Gears of War is, and pretty much all competitive gaming is to get the advantage on your opponent in any way possible. The next game type is King of the Hill. Now, King of the Hill is sort of like a headquarters type of game, but instead of it's not really complicated that much. The hill spawns are complicated, and the actual spawns are complicated, but what it pretty much is you have to stand in the hill for a couple seconds, you capture it, so then your points start, the game's up to 210, so your points start adding up. The second the other team crosses that hill, it will break. And so pretty much it's always a fight for the hill, it's always fast-paced action, it's really good, and most teams scrim in it all the time because it is really hard to master. The reason it's hard to master is because you have to figure out where the hill is going to spawn every time. There is a next marker, but it comes 10 seconds before the hill. So sometimes 10 seconds is not enough time to get to the other hill before the other team sets up on it. And that's where power weapons would also come into play. You have to make power weapon pushes towards the hill to get them out of it if they're already in it and set up on it. Also, there's a big thing with blocking player spawns in King of the Hill. In King of the Hill, like I said, the player spawns are not random. Depending on where your team is, they spawn somewhere on the opposite side. So a lot of times teams send one person to block the spawn. So just in case, sometimes they'll spawn at a torque bow, which is like an exploding, it's a crossbow with an exploding bolt. So it's a very nice power weapon. It's very good to use. So sometimes there will be a spawn on torque bow, let's say on the map Dry Dock. So a team will send one of their 4 players there to block that torque bow spawn so they cannot get it. So anyway, guys, the commentary is pretty much just about over. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I want to thank you guys for keeping an open mind if you lasted throughout this entire video. I promise you, if you take an interest in Gears of War, let me know. If you want to start playing, I'm more than happy to teach people how to play this game, because it is pretty much my favorite shooter of all time. And I promise you, if you are interested in competitive gaming, if you are interested in any sort of competition in gaming whatsoever, even casual gaming, Gears of War is a great game to learn, and an even greater game if you master it. Now, the next video I upload will be a Call of Duty Game Battles video, but it will be from Tiz. You've seen Tiz. He is in most of Kevin's videos. He's on his Search and Destroy variant team for Modern Warfare 3, and he's allowing me to use one of his gameplays, so I could have something that you guys really want to see, that I know you guys want to see. I just want to post this video to maybe open your guys' mind up a little bit to different games besides Call of Duty. So anyway, guys, sub to Tiz. His link will be down in the description. He posts COD gameplays all the time, live commentaries, regular commentaries, all this other stuff. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and I want to thank Kevin for allowing me to post, and I will talk to you guys later. See you next time. Peace.